child adaptation is only $30 per month to adopt a child. And the other one is a pond preservation and drinking water. This is a unique program. The organization, the Shatkira, you know, those who know, are familiar with the geography in Bangladesh, that's another very remote and poor area. And they're trying to save those, you know, they drink preservation water and then help people drink with any treatment, and they can drink. And also there's a way they can get it from the, they can put the connected with this so people can get it as if the regular the water supply, and the pure and then clean water supply they're getting it. It's just one example. And pond preservation, this initially started, we supported them, and now actually WHO give them grant, so we are helping them to survive and then to continue and get more ponds. It's about 3,000. You know, this is a unique opportunity for the donors and supporters. You know, there's a special reward and then status in the Day of Judgment, those who are helping others to have a pure and clean water. So this is amazing, inshallah. So recently we started, you know, I have to give thanks to my predecessor, Dr. Zaman, when he was president, came up with these ideas that we really need to expand our projects in North America. So long we have been doing we did this refugee program, kind of supporting with our supporters, with our link, helping the Islamic reliefs and others to get the refugee. You know, there's huge crisis there. And Rohingya rehabilitation program. I myself sit in the the Rohingya the board, so that we're connected with that. And the Stop Hunger Now is a program. You probably know, you're familiar with that. I think we have one slide. Let's put it there. That in several places we did the joining with other national organizations, the packaging the food, and the Islamic school scholarship. You know that there is a huge need. A lot of our poor parents, they wish their children go to the Islamic school, they cannot do that. So we have that, we sign up with the memorandum of understanding with the Islamic school, so that this fund goes exclusively to support those deserving students as their scholarship. So far we have in 2 schools, hopefully we'll go to the other schools. So inshallah we'll continue those things. And then recently another program, our route is, started with the Oak Ridge, but the Memphis is our office headquarters, and we have a mashallah, a significant number of board members and the past presidents are there. So we have this is the food pantry. We're partnering with the food pantry. And this initiative, we have already, I think, donated about 10,000. And then we're hoping that inshallah, we'll do partnership with the Boston. There's another food pantry. So these are the exposures. I think last visit, someone said that you have one. So inshallah, we can explore that and we'll be part of that too, inshallah. So this is some of the pictures and the Stop Hunger programs. And it started in Columbia, Missouri, in Jamaica, New York, Plano, Texas, St. Louis, Missouri, and Chicago, and the Memphis, Tennessee. This kind of pretty much yearly we're trying to do. And that's one pictures is our Fazl Ilahi, our executive director, donating the scholarship fund to the school. And then the halal food pantry, as I said, we're doing this halal food pantry support. This is in the Memphis. As I say, the memorandum of understanding, we donated $10,000. Just recently we did it. I think this is last Ramadan. And so, as I said, I'm rushing it for the sake of time. You can see that NABIC is independent. Alhamdulillah, it's a non-political, it's a non-sectarian, it's ummah-oriented and Bangladeshi community focus. So that's the way we're maintaining it. Hope, inshallah, with the help of Allah, we'll continue to maintain that. So I refer you to please join the effort to help the significant part of our ummah and be part of it by becoming a member, by becoming a donor, by becoming a supporter and a dua, and then spread the word. And please remind the others, your friends and families, to come as we program. That happens typically. Our program starts with a small number of people. As day goes on, we see more people coming in. In the afternoon, we put together as a beautiful session for the youth, especially. This program, we have a panel. Is a very successful. Our speakers, and some of our own past presidents, and then some of our we have it. So you send the list, you see that. So send your children, send your boys and girls, so they can learn. It's an opportunity for them to learn, so they can talk to the experts and they learn from this, so that they can help them to decide which direction they should go. I think with these few words, again, hope to see you at night and then all day, inshallah. Again, I thank you. I thank their volunteers. Some of them, I have to mention the Robin Bhai and Tawhid Bhai, Hasif Bhai, some of them, they really work so hard. May Allah bless you. I don't know how to express my thank and gratitude. This is it's a tremendous work. We started almost a year ago. We started, and it's a lot of work done. Alhamdulillah, inshallah, I'm confident that Allah will put barakah in this work. And again, and keep us in your dua, inshallah. We'll see you. Thank you very much for coming. And then please start calling others to join soon, inshallah, to us.
We have a topic which is focused on Bangladesh. So we have 3 speakers today. And just for the sake of time, we'll have allowed 15 minutes to each speaker and about 10 minutes for Q&A. Our first topic is challenges and opportunities in higher education in Bangladesh, a first-hand experience. And our speaker is Dr. Amin Sharkar. Dr. Amin Sharkar served as the Vice Chancellor for 2013-2015 at North-South University, Dean for 24 to 13 at Alabama A&M University. Mashallah, he has a very good resume and bio. I'm not going to go all through it because for the sake of time, inshallah, he will introduce himself. And without further delay, Dr. Amin Sharkar.
I begin in the name of God, who is most merciful and most gracious. I would say good morning, brothers and sisters in Islam. Peace be upon you all. So the topic is very relevant to this session and to NABIC, and to talk about education, and this is so important. The first wahi that came to our Prophet ﷺ, that was about education, learn. So read, and read for what? Reading is to acquire knowledge, is to learn something which is not known. And there is a hadith, Prophet ﷺ has also asked people to go even to China to get knowledge. So obviously Chinese, they were not Muslims in those days, so they were not having any Islamic knowledge, but they were having knowledge in other important areas. Well, I will try to give an overview of the challenges and the educational status in Bangladesh, and then I'll talk about my own experience at North-South University. As you all know that in Bangladesh there are 3 main systems of education. Number 1 is the general education, which is also secular education. Number 2, madrasa education, and number 3 is technical or vocational education. And the system has been primarily run in the public sector by the government. And there are also 4 levels of education: the primary school, and then high school, and then college, which is higher secondary, and then the tertiary or university level education from 13th grade and above. And we inherited a colonial educational system with 2-year bachelor degree pass course and 3-year honors degree with 1 subject honors and then 2 subjects as subsidiary. So if you are having a major in chemistry, you typically study in the 13th grade and above only chemistry for 3 years, and for 2 years you typically study physics and mathematics. So this also applies to arts and humanities and other disciplines. But the professional degree areas, they were a little different. We have 4 to 5 years professional degrees. Like in engineering, agriculture, medicine, dentistry, and so on. And after that, students, those who will go for a master's degree, if they come from pass course, that will require only 2 years for master's degree, and if you come from honors, then you study for 1 year. And master's degrees are also divided into 2 categories. Those who are better students, particularly in sciences, they would go for thesis group, and those who are not as good, they will go for non-thesis group. So that has been the case in our education system for long time in the subcontinent. Probably that is also very common in the former British colonies. From the 11th grade onwards, in the 50s and in the 60s and before that, the medium of instruction was English, except in the intermediate 11th or 12th grade, students had to study Bengali and English. So that Bengali, that was obviously in Bengali and other subjects. If you are in a science group, then you study physics, chemistry, mathematics, and they happen to be also in English. And if you are arts group, commerce group, so that division began from the 11th grade. And that has been now changed. The division begins nowadays, I heard, from the 9th grade. So from 9th grade, students have to choose whether you will go to science or you are going to arts or commerce and so on. So that system is very much known to you, and after independence, English was replaced by Bengali as medium of instruction in most, almost in all levels, gradually. So students who graduated in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, and also in 2000s. So these 4 decades, over time, those students received education primarily in Bengali medium, although in professional schools, like in medical and engineering and so on, students, I am told that they had to take the tests, exams in English, but the lectures were typically done in Bengali. So that is something that put our students relatively in a disadvantaged situation compared to students of prior generation who graduated, say, in the Pakistani period, or maybe the first few years of Bangladesh period, when these transformations did not take place instantaneously. Particularly in the early 70s who studied, they still continued the same old system. Currently, there are 37 public universities in Bangladesh and 100 plus private universities in Bangladesh. And private universities currently provide higher education to about 60% students. Some authorities claim it would be about 65%. So I'm not 100% sure what is the breakup.